So I kind of made a major mistake. And I just realized this because I was doing PvP live the other day. And I haven't really gotten into PvP until just kind of the last handful of weeks here. While I've been playing the Barbarian and playing the Monk. But I've been getting deleted. And I kept thinking like, okay, there's people, they got to have like a bajillion resonance. Why does everyone have a bajillion resonance and I'm getting deleted in like 2 seconds? And I look at it and it's like, nah, he's got like 3,000 resonance just like I do. But he's doing way more damage to me. And I didn't really feel like I was that behind in terms of stats. Like, I have a decent amount of damage. I've got, like, look at 1 damage. It's got, like, 11,000 damage, almost 120k life. And, you know, I could even min-max my stats a little bit better, probably. But I felt like, you know, the people that I'm fighting against, they have close to the same damage to me. And it doesn't, like, I don't understand how I'm getting melted. But then I started thinking about my character. I'm like, okay, what have I been doing with my character and where are my weaknesses? It was pretty obvious for me as I started to go through my stats that I had focused on primarily stacking the damage stat with things like tourmaline gems. I have also been focusing really hard on stats like armor penetration with sapphire gems in order to get as much armor pen as possible. But this is doubled down by the fact if you go through my Paragon trees, I've been maxed for damage and armor penetration. All of the points I've taken are just to maximize my damage and armor penetration stat. In fact, this is more or less what I've recommended to most people because that's kind of what you do in PvE. You're just trying to do as much damage as you can. And if you're getting killed by, you know, bosses and stuff, it's just get good and learn to dodge most of the mechanics or melt the boss faster so that he doesn't even have time to get his moves off. That's kind of typically like, just get more damage in PvE. But there's something that I really heavily neglected, which I didn't realize until just the other live stream. If you look at my armor, it is significantly lower than almost any of my other stats. And this is after I've buffed it. My armor is 922, and that was after I realized it was low and went back and added in aquamarine gems here, as well as here. I literally added in like 200 armor just to try to get this a little bit closer to a better baseline. And it's still below the hell difficulty I'm at right now, increasing the critical hit damage by 38%. What this basically means is when I'm getting bursted down, I'm giving people a test dummy that is way easier to beat up. And I'm attacking people that have got tankier stats. If you look at my legacy too, I went back and spent some points in here to try to make up for this mistake. But if you look at all the ones that I've leveled, it's all damage, life, etc. Damage, life, bonus damage, here, bonus life, armor penetration. So I went with things that are increased by resonance, which I actually do think it's a decent play to actually go for things out of the sanctum that are affected by resonance, etc. You go for the damage to life stats very typically. But the bigger problem that I really have is that you look at it like I've just kept my armor really low. It's 288, which means I'm getting gutted when people are critically striking. And critical strikes are pretty much like the meta builds these days. But this concept is actually even worse for me because I started looking, and if you look here, look at my resistance, 773. I have the same problem, okay? Potency of monsters in your level affect activity increasing durations by 18%. But then here's the problem. Against players, durations are increased by 35%. So the duration of harmful effects on me are increased by 35%. I'm giving these people essentially a free set bonus worth of increased duration against me. I'm stacking the odds against myself just so I can get as much critical hit damage as I possibly can. There's too many stats that I have lost that would have helped me in the long run if I had not doubled down too much on damage. And the thing is, it's not even like super smart to double down on the damage because as you go through the things like the legacy of the Herodrum, etc., and you look at like damage life, get to a certain point, yeah, but then bring some of the other ones up because the amount of points that it takes for me to get the level 10 versus the 21, look, 250 blue for me to gain some potency and some resistance. 900 for me to gain another 4 damage. So it's really tempting to stack all the damage, which is what I've been doing. But now I am absolutely paying for it. And I'm having to go back later on and upgrade these things and go like this and go, yep, I need potency. Yes, I need resistance because the durations that I'm giving these people are significant. So there we go. We upgraded it. I upgraded it and I'm still at the 35%. I probably just need a significant amount more of all of these stats. So obviously I could have done the Sanctum. I also, when I pick my gems, you know how you pick your gems from things like the Battle Pass, etc. I could have been picking some armor. I could have been picking, you know, some topaz to get higher resistance. I've ranked 5 gems. I mean, the gems are just borderline pathetic out of here, because I've been having to funnel them so much to try to get as high of the rank as possible of the damaged ones, etc. And you need thousands and thousands and thousands of gems. Make no mistake, you need thousands of these things. So, you know, you snowball them all in one direction to try to get as high as you can. But then, unfortunately, that mistake has backfired on me. So it's something to keep in mind. So basically, don't make the mistake I did and ignore all these other stats to the point of that it would be so much cheaper just to get a little bit of these other stats that might actually help you significantly more than spending all of this, you know, selling all of the other stats in order to min-max just, you know, fall 4 more damage or whatever it may be. That's the mistake I've made, basically. And because of that, I realized when I'm looking at people that are like fairly in my bracket, you know, fair matchups. I'm not saying these people are, you know, $50,000 more than me. I'm talking even matchups, which, you know, I shouldn't have any excuse in PvP. I'm noticing that people have like everyone has more armor than me. Like it's a me problem. So I'm making sure that you guys don't make that same mistake. If you're starting the game now, focus on all of your stats. Not saying necessarily evenly. I do think armor, penetration, and damage is a little better than the other ones. But absolutely don't forget to work on the other stats and the things like the Sanctum, where you can actually get some of these other attributes like potency, resistance, etc. for way cheaper than just 4 more damage. Consider actually taking them up on that offer, especially because as you get in, even in the PvE, the baseline moves up too. So you're going to need it everywhere in the game. I did actually try to find more technical information on how in PvP armor and armor penetration interact, at what point armor scales, how, you know, why is armor at 700 low now, which, you know, 6 months ago maybe that would have been amazing armor, and the only thing that's changed is like Paragon levels and resonance. There's no hell difficulty in PvP. So like these more technical questions as to when you know, armor matters versus their armor penetration and stuff, I can't find answers to literally anywhere. I don't know anyone that knows this for a fact other than just opinion. If you look at it up on, try to find it on things like Reddit, it's mostly people just saying, oh, you don't need armor, you need resonance. It's bad information. If you try to find it on websites that are, you know, old informational websites for Diablo Immortal, most of those don't function since beta, and all of the information is outdated, and they're still calling, you know, combat rating like defense and offensive rating and stuff, and it's not remotely accurate. So I'll have to reach out to somebody and try to figure this type of information out, because I do think it would be really interesting to know how the stats all actually work and interact in PvP. I haven't been able to find technical breakdowns for this, like in detail, where we actually know, other than just the stuff it tells you in game, like, DM, you're taking 50% more critical damage, maybe you should build some more armor. Like, that's basically what the game is saying, which doesn't really give us the exact details of it, but I'm trying to find that type of information. If anyone here happens to have like actual proof of that type of stuff, feel free to leave in a comment or join the Discord. Say what you think about it. Love you all. See you guys on the next video.